Welcome to week 3 Guess the Lines 10 questions. I like to say this. I like to say this. It's football season's gone in full swing, baseball's in full swing, and there's playoff implications already for some teams already. Jake Riepma, Dunkin Dad, how are we guys doing today?
Good and getting better. It's always a pleasure to be on the Upper Bowl podcast. I got to make sure I have my brain in the right spot right now, going from one thing to the next. Trevor, I know you got a million things going. I got a million things going. The Dunkin Dad, we all got a million things going, but it's time to lock in. Here we go.
Yes, definitely. Dunkin Dad, how are we doing, by the way?
Feel good. I feel good, man. I'm ready to roll. All
right. I'm ready to roll too. All right. We're going to have 10 questions this week. We're going to go with who's back of the week before we start, and then we're going to guess the line. So I'm going to start off. Jake Riepma, who's back of the week, by the way, for week 2 anyways. I like this already. So
yeah, well, minus 10,000 odds where it's going to be me bragging on the Detroit Lions. So that's the most obvious answer. But I'll give you an individual because I started to go off a little bit on Locked On Lions in the post-game show and just old man yelling at clouds. But anytime anybody wants to tell me Jared Goff is washed, he can't throw off platform, pocket passer, an archaic style, nothing without Ben Johnson, everybody can just zip it on that. And I know I was panicking after week 1. We all were, but 5 touchdowns, 300 plus yards. He's done that in 3 consecutive seasons. That hadn't been done since like the 60s. It's absolutely insane. And you can miss me with the empty stats because, listen, Ben Johnson was back in the house, his return to Detroit. So it was personal, and putting a 50 burger up to the tune of 5 touchdowns and no interceptions. Jared Goff is who's back of the week.
Dunkin Dad, who you got?
Oh, man. Who is back? Can we say Daniel Jones? Was he ever with us?
2 straight games without punting. It's insane.
Two straight games without punting. He's got 5 tutties. I think there's 0 turnovers. Throwing for, I think, close to 600 yards. And he looks comfortable behind an offensive line that it's actually giving him a little bit of protection. Yeah. You know, it's kind of nuts. I mean, they did get a little fortuitous winky wink call, I think, there at the end of the game. I mean, I don't remember the last time there's been that, what is it, the planing sort of intrusion penalty. I was like, what? Who? But, I mean, yeah, let's give it up for Daniel Jones, man. He's helping me out because I called him, really nice coming out of the draft. So I'll take Daniel.
Can I say kickers this week?
Yeah.
Like, in a good way, especially Brandon Aubrey is nailing a 64-yarder. That was just pure money. And Andy Borregales in the New England game, he missed his first 2 PATs, and he made the rest of his his field goals and everything. And special teams, it could go either way. The lack of special teams or the greatness of special teams. How about that? Anyways,
How about that?
We have 10 questions. We'll have fun with this bad boy. Number 10, who had the best bounce back week from week 1 to week 2? Dunkin Dad, I'll have you start.
Oh man. Geez, I would, like to tiptoe on Jake's and say the Lions, but I kind of expected that from the Lions to come out and just lay a complete smackdown. Man, I'm looking at Baltimore. I liked how they cleaned their stuff up. It was a little slow, but late third, early fourth, they kind of just turned it on and asserted themselves. And I say that because I have this mantra of like good teams beat bad teams, good teams who are supposed to be the upper echelon, like they have to perform in those instances. And I just feel like Baltimore, turned around and, showed us exactly, who they were.
Jake?
Listen, I could make this entire show about the Detroit Lions, so this is like my slide them in there without actually making my entire point about them. But sneaky big win for the Seattle Seahawks to go West Coast to East Coast, and the Steelers, a lot of us, me included, were Aaron Rodgers is back. Let's crown them and putting up points. And all of a sudden, Seattle goes to It's not Heinz Field anymore. Somebody help me out. It's
sure.
Yeah, beautiful state. I was just there, literally just walked past it. Beautiful setting there. But for Seattle to go West Coast to East Coast on the road and win comfortably kind of a statement for them. And I know it's early, but they bounced back after a divisional loss in week 1 to the 49ers and look really good in week 2. So I'll give it the nod to the old Seahawks.
I'm going to give it to the New England Patriots, by the way, because everyone was like, they looked bad week 1 versus the Raiders, which everyone was saying, the Patriots should win that game, but the Raiders won because they had better talent and stuff. The Patriots came down to Miami, 1 o'clock in the sun, because their bench is in the sun in Miami, just was baking the whole time, fight through everything from adversity, special teams, everything, and they found a way to beat the Miami Dolphins. So I got to give it to the New England Patriots on that one, because they bounced back from barely not scoring enough points, and they put 33 points upon the Miami Dolphins. It was the first time since Bailey Zappi was quarterback since 2022, by the way. How about
Bailey
that?
Zapp.
So, number 9. Do you like the NFL pregame shows from Fox and CBS be on location for the game they're calling? The NFL and Fox did this in 2006. So the NFL was Fox was in KSC this past week. The week before, NFL on CBS was at Green Bay. Do you guys like that at all or no?
I'm on record as my all-time favorite time in front of the television is watching College Game Day. So the concept of the live pregame show, yes. But since we're in pro NFL mode right now, here's what I'll offer. NFL fans are just a little bit different, right? Not, for better or for worse. But this show in particular, I'm watching it in detail. And every single segment, the fans, and I'm not against the fans yelling and screaming and let's make our presence known and everything, but it never really stopped. Whereas you got one of the segments being about like injury updates, and Jay Glazer's trying to, give us the latest breaking injury news, and every fan behind him just screaming. And again, you can't really control little things like that, but that's one observation I had, that there's some of those uncontrollable elements when you have a live pregame show like that. And again, College Game Day is my all-time favorite show, so it would be hypocritical of me to say, yeah, I hate it. But at the same time, I don't know if it needs to be every single Sunday. And the studio show, sure, it can get maybe a little bit stale, so I understand changing it up from time to time, but I don't think you need it all the time.
Yeah, to echo a little bit of that, as a production, and from that production standpoint, it's like a nightmare. College kids will listen, to the producers, and they'll be quiet. They'll know when to bring up the noise. You can't really tell adults what to do in those instances. You put a camera in front of an adult nowadays, and they just want to get out there and start doing a TikTok dance or, some kind of YouTube trend kind of crap. But I like the idea of them being on location, and I think it's just trending that way, that the interactiveness now of the hosts are getting a little bit younger as well. It's sort of like a double-edged sword and a necessary evil. I do think it can become really, really played out quickly. And a lot of times it's going to return back to some of these places if you keep going there for the games of the week. Like Kansas State's going to have games. Dallas is going to have games. Philadelphia's going to have games. Like, oh, where's our game? Where's our game? Like, no offense, you're not going to send Brady to go see, like, the Colts play the Browns.
No.
Like, oh, let's go stand out here in the middle of winter in Cleveland and, broadcast the game. We'll do it for Buffalo, but Cleveland? Come on.
We saw this in 2006 because they didn't have a host. I remember the Eagles-Cowboy game, especially in 06, T.O.'s return. They had the pregame show there. That was like rowdy and stuff. And they had it at like Thanksgiving and stuff. It was cool. Do it for like marquee games.
Yeah.
I don't need it every random week. If it's like Cowboys-Jaguars, I don't want it there. Stick in the studio, find a host, do your thing. I don't need it every week then. You know what I mean?
What do you mean? The Cowboys? It's America's team. Everybody loves the Cowboys.
But really, put it in Jacksonville. Come on, let's be honest.
Hey, they get games like yesterday. We'll show up to Dallas all the time, man.
That is true. That is true. All right, number 8, throwback uniform question. With the Buccaneers breaking out the white creamsicle jerseys this weekend versus the Jets for their 50th anniversary, give me your top 5 NFL throwback jerseys. Jake, I'm going to have you start, by the way. Go.
Oh, all right. Top five. I prepared a few, but I missed the little top 5 mark of it there. So I will say this, though. The Saints, for how horrible their like current uniforms are, the throwback ones I actually really like. So give me the Saints at number 5. It wouldn't be a Jake Riepma answer without the Lions. So the Lions would wear them on Thanksgivings and the Thanksgivings. and the helmets are just pure silver.
I love those, by the way. Those
yeah,
are great
yeah. And of course, like I just envision Barry Sanders. Now the numbers in those do just look like straight duct tape, like the old school duct tape silver. Like that's exactly the visual. So if you're not a Lions fan and you told me they sucked, I'd listen to you. But they just obviously are near and dear to my heart, so that's why. I'll go Patriots red uniforms with the old school Patriot at number 3, which I am so sorry. You said Jake go first, and I'm just listing. Did you want me to name my entire top 5? Because I feel like I'm taking people's. Were we?
No, you're good. There's other ones. Do not worry. Do not worry.
I'm like halfway through. I'm like, wait a second. I'm just stealing all the good ones.
Nope, you're good. I got some random ones over here.
Okay. And then I'll go Bucks number 2, the creamsicles. And even the ones that are the orange, the all orange are so sick. I think they wore them against the Lions a couple years ago. But my number 1, and this is the only thing they have going for them as an organization, because it couldn't be worse for the Miami Dolphins, but their throwback uniforms are sick. So, and I like the all white ones. But any Miami Dolphins throwback uniform is sick.
Dunkin' Dad, go.
I like in order from 5 to 1. I'll just say number 1. I like the creamsicle things from the Bucks. I just think you can't get any more era-ish uniform, I think, in my mind. It's that. 2, I like the Eagles throwback uniform. They play out the Kelly green a lot. I like the white ones. I think that's sort of I like those jerseys. I like the Niners when they go back to their old 80s uniform. That's a really cool one. The San Diego Superchargers, when they dip down and get the powders, that's nice. And outside curveball, I like the Falcons. The old Falcons.
Damn it, you stole mine.
Yeah, those were pretty bad. Like Jerry Glanville era, that transition with the red, the red helmets, the black. Oh man, give me some Jerry Glanville.
I am so upset with myself for not saying the Chargers. I completely forgot about it, because it's like my all-time favorite uniform in sports
out there.
Yeah.
Give me the one.
I got my Bolts helmet right here.
There we go.
There it is.
Yeah, I mean, this is the old high school helmet, but
nice.
That is awesome. All right, honorable mention for me is the 90s Patriot jerseys with the flying Elvis on the sleeves, by the way, with Drew Bledsoe, Terry Glenn. I love those. Arizona 90s, Arizona Cardinals, the white one with the Arizona State flag on the side. I like that one the most.
Oh, yeah, those are cool. I had a Jake Plummer one of those.
That's the only one to get anyways, or Pat Tillman, how you do it. The Minnesota Vikings, I like the mid-90s ones the most before they did the Reebok, ruined it all with the sleeves and the piping and stuff, the mid-90s. One of Randy Moss doing the I like to say we have drops now anyway, so.
That is a disgusting act by Randy Moss.
That one I like the most. Eagles Kelly Green is number 3 for me. Number 2, the Dirty Bird Atlanta Falcons, the one that Michael Vick wore especially. I like those the most with the red one. I like the white one the most, actually, with the red numbers and stuff. Number 1, the 49ers, the one from the 90s, actually. I like the ones that they wore in the Super Bowl, and also the one that they had the block number with the black and the gold in it, like the Jerry Rice one that everyone had as a kid.
Everyone has a kid, yeah.
No, they're sick.
So I go by that. So, but I really want to throw the 90s Patriot one up there with the flying Elvis, but that was way too high. But the Falcons were my number 2, actually. So that's nice. Number 7. What are your thoughts on Mike Vrabel as a head coach, and will he stay in New England long term, by the way?
Dunkin' Dad, you take this one.
Go.
Yeah, I think he's great. I think he's a great fit for New England. I think he is the right candor, the right mentality. I think the players respond to him. He doesn't go too crazy. He's involved in the game. And I guess he's a little more polished Campbell, right?
Okay.
He's a little more polished Campbell. Yeah, that's all. So yeah, I think he'll be there for a minute.
Okay, Jake.
Yeah, I think he's definitely the right guy for the Patriots. Now, what does his timeline to success look like? A lot of factors there. Drake May, I mean, it's overreaction season and it's the NFL. That's what we always do. But he seems to be trending in the right direction. And, a guy like Vrabel is going to have a sound defense. So I was actually, and not that if there are Tennessee Titans fans out there, I know one, but I would say majority of Tennessee Titans fans would probably say they regret showing him the door as quickly as they did, because I think he from a charisma standpoint, leadership standpoint, X's and O's standpoint. He checks all the boxes for you as a head coach in the NFL.
I like Mike Vrabel as a head coach. He reminds me of like a guy who could fix anything, like almost like a Bill Parcells light almost. Because he did very well with the Texans with their defense. Did very well of the Titans, especially because the Titans were pretty much a dead franchise for almost a decade plus. He made them relevant for the first time in forever. Now I like how he's doing for the Patriots. I feel like he's trying to be our version of Bill Parcells, but I hope he stays there long term. But if he gets to go anywhere, I don't know where. I would love to see him. The funniest thing if we see him go to the Dallas Cowboys, if Jerry Jones, if he wants to get a real football guy, but I know that would never happen. So I like Vrabel a lot actually as a head coach. I like him in the AFC East next to Sean McDermott a lot more than Mike McDaniel. So that is my personal thoughts. Number 6. What were your thoughts on the Dolphin fans starting up a GoFundMe for a plane to fly a banner saying "Fire Greer, Fire McDaniel"? This happened yesterday. This has happened during the week last week. We talked about it briefly in the episode, and it finally happened during pregame. Jake Riepma, I feel like we've seen. Has this ever happened in Detroit? By the way, I gotta ask.
That's a good question. There's certainly been, Fire Millen chants. Like I heard that in my childhood forever, and sell the team shirts and everything else. But I'm all for this. We live in America, the greatest country in the entire world, and the idea to exercise your right and galvanize a group together, go for it. And you love I guess if you're the family of Greer and McDaniel, you might not necessarily love the effort together to come as one as a fan base, but there's certainly no as fans, that's your fan given right. So I'm all for it.
Dunkin' Dad.
It is far past the time that the fans of Miami spoke up and actually made their voice heard. They've put up with a lot, all the Yankee Doodle stuff that went on with Flores, all the other behind the scene crap. They just have right now a completely dysfunctional football team. And there needs to be change. Like there's a lot of times we look around the league and like, oh, you take this piece out, you insert that, you fix or you stabilize. Right now, the candor in which McDaniels comes to the podium to answer questions, he just looks completely defeated. I don't want to say he's under any kind of influence of anything.
Oh, he's a broken man, though. He looks broken. He sounds broken.
Yes,
he just sounds broken. He just sounds like, I'm done. Nothing more I can do. And you're not really getting any other assistance from anybody above your pay grade. You've got... there's just so much dysfunction going on with Miami. So are they within their rights? Yeah, just like Jake said. This country where we blow up the phone lines after our team wins the Super Bowl because our guy didn't throw the ball enough, or the guy didn't run the ball enough, or, we only scored, 20-some points yesterday. We should have hung, more on them. Like, we complain when we're doing well. These guys, they have a valid reason to get on the horn, and banners, signs, airplanes, blow up a big rat outside the stadium. Take a union approach, man.
Not a bad idea, actually. I did post game yesterday, so I had full phone lines, but again, so we had callers from New York, South Florida, Iowa, Chicago, Houston, Phoenix, LA, San Francisco. Yeah, I had Dolphin fans mad, and I kind of said this. You kind of in Jet fan territory with the banner flying of Fire Ridzik, Fire Rex Ryan. But at least you're creative. I'll say this. I'm glad that the Miami fan is learning how to boo, because that's been my biggest thing down here since I've been down here for almost about to be 4 years. Learn how to boo, please. Like, I don't care if you guys don't want to. Just learn how to boo. It shows that people like you actually have passion, because I know this. Nobody likes to boo at the Heat games. Nobody likes to boo at the Panther games. Nobody cares about the Marlins, but at least learn how to boo. I've been saying this for almost 4 years, and I'm glad some Miami fans are learning to take accountability. Like, let's boo the hell out of these guys. And I'm glad they booed after the first drive, because that was putrid football, I'll say. So bravo, Miami fans. You finally learned from a Northeast sports fan and a Midwest sports fan like Detroit. So
yeah, showing a little passion there, right?
Yeah, because I like to say they sit on their hands, have their thumb up their ass the whole time. I'm glad they're showing a little passion, and I cannot wait what's going to happen Thursday night. Anyways, I like to say. So.
I just feel like to put a bow on that. Like
Yeah.
we've heard for so many years, like Miami, we love our Dolphins. We love our Dolphins. You know, greatest team ever. Love our, but never hear anything. And finally,
Yeah.
you know, it's like the house is almost burnt complete to the ground. I guess now we should scream for help and, you know, get the fire department over here to put it out.
Yeah.
20-some years with a playoff.
25 years. 25 years, by the way.
Gracious.
25 years.
Stop.
All right.
The Rockies have another between.
The Lions have more playoff wins. The Raiders have a more recent playoff win than the Dolphins, the Eagles, the Bucks, the Packers. Is there any other teams I'm missing, Jake?
Bears.
The effing Bears.
Probably the Browns too, right? Then the Browns won a playoff game.
Browns won a playoff game too. So
That's tough.
that is tough. All right, give me your power rankings after week 2. I'll start. Lions, Eagles, Packers, Ravens, Bills.
Was that 5-1?
Yeah, 5-1. Lions is number 5. Eagles are number 4. 3 is Packers. 2 is Ravens. 1 is the Bills.
All right. I've got this is gonna upset a lot of people, and I haven't really convinced myself that this is the way, but I'm trying to speak it into existence, and of course at the same time keep my credibility. So I'm not gonna put my Lions at 1, but I'll start. They are in my top 5. They're
Okay.
Lions, and that's where you've got them too. So I've got Lions at 5. I've got the Packers at 4. I think they're gonna come down to earth. A lot of people have crowned them after 2 games, which is fair. They've looked really, really good.
What's your point?
Yeah, Jerry, great drop.
Thank you.
And then 3, even though I got the Ravens at 3, and then as much as it pains me, I want to put them 1, but I've got Bills 2, Eagles 1.
Okay. Dunkin' Dad.
I think by proxy, de facto, until the Eagles lose, they have to be ranked 1. They don't not really playing up to the level 1 right now. If we played Baltimore, Buffalo,
Packers.
Packers maybe,
Lions.
I don't know. It depends on the game plan. You know, like they're just adjusting week to week with the game plan. Patula, I'm not completely sold on Patula at this particular moment. If we go 5-1, then I'll take Detroit, Baltimore, Green Bay, Buffalo, Philly.
Okay. Alrighty. Who was your biggest tool bag from week 2, by the way? I think Jake's got a good one, I feel. Jake, go.
I don't want it to sound like I'm just trying to pour on and take the popular take and the opinion, but McDaniel's presser, it's just hard to watch. And
Thank you.
It's all fun and quirky, and I guess there's a comedic element when you're winning, and the in-season hard knocks from a couple of years ago to where he is now. It's just like they've taken his soul, and he just, I guess some guys are just cut out to be a coordinator. And I hate saying that because I've always felt like putting a box around a coach or parameters of what they can and can't be, it's unfair. And maybe McDaniel will get another chance somewhere else to be a head coach, but I think it would be worthwhile for him, for his own health, his own well-being, to maybe take a step back, because he just looks like a broken man at the press conference. And maybe that's not as much of the definition of a tool bag, because he's still like, I think he's just trying the shtick, and the shtick has ran its course. Like, I don't know the direct quote, but what was it? You know, when you lose the game, when you don't win the game, and something, you know, something like that, where it's just like, all right, you're insulting everybody that's listening to this with how dumb this is. So I'll go with McDaniel.
As talking to someone who may have cut in that soundbite high, I wanted to throw my laptop, by the way, after hearing that. Dunkin' Dad, go, please.
Oh man. Even in the win, I'm going to call out Zach Taylor and the Bengals. Good for him that Browning came in and Browning did his job, but there were just some calls during that game, especially in the first quarter and a half, because I tuned into that and was like, you know what, I want to see Cincinnati this week. I want to see Burrow, see how they, you know, how they come out, you know, 1-0 for the first time, see if they get to 2-0. And it just looked like there was just still a disconnect from him as a coach in some of these schemes, some of the ways. And I was just like, your talent is going to cover it up at some point, but then they get down, and then they start getting into a dogfight with Jacksonville, and I'm thinking to myself, offensively, you're so stacked, but your defense is just horrendous still. Like, it's just so horrendous. So, I don't know. Like, I don't like them coming out and saying, you guys were so high, you guys did so well, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, dude, like, I know you need to talk up your team, but you really need to address some issues on, a particular side of the ball. But I don't know. He just rubs me the wrong way sometimes.
I'm going to give it to Tua Tagovailoa because it sounds like he was smiling the whole time during his press conference. I had to cut up that presser, by the way, and he was being way too positive after being 0-2 and stuff. So Tua Tagovailoa, show a little edge, like be a little angry. That's what I like to say. Because I'm not trying to say this because I cut up his presser this week after the game. I was just really unimpressed in how he was not angry, how we're not 1-1 because they blew that game. And I also like my real answer is Ben Johnson after losing to Detroit. And the one person, like, what would you do? What do you think of Dan Campbell going for it on 4th and goal? And I was like, what do you expect him to do? He's going to go for it anyways, not kick the field goal anyway. So
Ben Johnson. real quick. That was my guy, Jeff Rieger. Close, name drop. Whoa. Close personal friend. But that's right. Me and Riggs go way back. And that's his. And people kind of got after Rieger because his follow-up was, how demoralizing of a loss is this? And, you can say what you will about the semantics of phrasing that question, but Rieger's the type of guy that's just going to ask what the people want to know. And he makes no apologies for that. And in a lot of ways, I think that's what the job is. So I credit him for asking the tough questions. And he wasn't just trying to get a reaction. I think he genuinely, and I would agree, that's what the people want to know is this demoralizing to get your ass kicked and a 50 burger put up on the team you left?
I am going to say this. I like to give him a round of applause for a great journalism question. So Rieger's my guy, as he was. So, all right, number 3 with turf toe hitting Joe Burrow. Will the Cincinnati Bengals make the playoffs? No.
Yeah, no. That's Browning can't do that every week, man.
I think I was listening to Part of My Take earlier today, and I was listening to Part of My Take earlier today, and I think they made an interesting point. And they're just like us, just BSing about everything over the weekend. And what if the Bengals just went out and went after Kirk Cousins? That would be awesome. I don't know how long it would take to get acclimated with the playbook and everything else, but purely at surface level, as a dumb fan like myself, I think that would be fun until Burrow. I don't know their cap situation. I don't know any of that. But the thought of the Bengals making some kind of move at quarterback.
Captain Kirk.
Yeah. I mean, because I don't know who made the point. They have so many weapons offensively. It's like it could be a really good team.
I wouldn't be surprised by that, actually. That'd be entertaining at least. So, all right. 2 Monday Night Football games tonight. So I got to give you 2 questions for Monday Night Football. Rank me the starting quarterbacks and head coaches in the Monday Night Football game. We have Tampa at Houston and San Diego at LA. I will start. Give me Tampa Bay with Baker Mayfield, and I'm blanking on his head coach right now. Who is the Tampa head coach right now?
Oh, Ryan Broyles.
Huh?
For Tampa Bay?
Yeah, Tampa Bay, yeah.
Ryan Broyles. Right?
I said head coach.
Todd Bowles.
Todd Bowles. All right, give me Baker and Todd Bowles. Give me Jim Harbaugh and Justin Herbert. CJ Stroud and D'Amico and Geno Smith and Pete Carroll. Dunkin' Dad?
Starting quarterbacks and head coach. If I had to start them and rank them, I think I'm going to
just ranking them as a combo anyways. So
as a combo?
Yeah.
San Diego or Los Angeles. Give me Herbert and Harbaugh, number 1. 2, I trust Pete Carroll and Geno Smith more than I do Baker Mayfield and Bowles, and then Stroud would be last with D'Amico.
Okay. Jake?
Oh, I'm going to go 180 degrees the other way. I love me some D'Amico Ryans. I think that's a former player, a defensive guy, gritty, gutty, everything else you like, and cutting up his press conferences as often as I have to. He's a good soundbite, so that means he's automatically a really good coach, right?
Yeah.
And then quarterback-wise, Are we doing all four? I'm sorry.
No, we'll do the next.
Okay.
We'll do the next one. Out of the Monday Night Football quarterbacks starting tonight, who would you start a franchise with? Baker, C.J. Stroud, Justin Herbert, or Geno Smith?
Give me Justin Herbert because Jim Harbaugh quite literally thinks he's Chuck Noll.
Dunkin' Dad.
Yeah, I think looking at everyone and knowing what I know about them, even coming out of college, I think your prototypical quarterback. Read me some defense, use your legs, rocket for an arm. You got to go with Herbert. Even though it despises me to say that, I think he's the guy that you start your franchise with.
Fuck it, give me Baker Mayfield. He knows how to win games. He's got an arm. People may hate him, people may love him. He's a good soundbite anyway, so he'll be entertaining and stuff. Give me Baker Mayfield as my starting quarterback, then Justin Herbert at least. So I will say Baker 1, Justin Herbert 2, CJ 3, Geno Smith 4. We saw him as a Jets head as a QB.
Hey, Geno Smith was lighting it up at West Virginia, man.
He was lighting it up at West Virginia too. Anyway, shout out to West Virginia beating Pitt, by the way.
Yeah, backyard brawl.
Dude, let's go.
Shout out to the old Big East. That's all I could say about that. All right, guess the lines. Week 3, Thursday night football. We'll start. Dolphins, Bills. I'm gonna guess this right now. Is it 14 points? Go.
It's got to be double digits. What was the largest one of week 1?
Week 2 was 11.5.
11.5 week 2, yeah.
And I think Cowboys Eagles week 1 was 10.5. So I
8.5.
don't think. Oh, it got down to 8.5. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to get all the way up to 2 touchdowns. So I'll say 12.5.
I'm gonna take a 13.5.
It is. If anything wants to load on me, it's 12.5 right now.
Ooh.
For
Nice.
the Buffalo Bills. All right, Yankees games below. There's
hold
no
on,
we
like,
do
how-
not- go.
How bad, right, in a jokey kind of sly way do you feel for Miami right now? Like 0-2, and you got to go to Buffalo on a short week. Like, that's just, you're going to get eviscerated. Just completely eviscerated by this team.
It's not looking good down here.
looking good. It is not.
It's probably
looking good.
Is this probably the worst Dolphins team we've seen since the tanking first year of Brian Flores, at least.
Yeah, but it's not even as if they don't have talent. There's talent on the team. There's just such a disconnect between everyone involved right now. You know what I mean? Like, it just goes to show you how important, like, the cohesiveness of the locker room and the players being even remotely connected in some way. It's so horrible. Like, it's a bad train wreck, and I'm gonna watch.
Yeah. Jake, we know we're gonna. I think all three of us are gonna watch, and I have to do post game, so this will be really entertaining. How many phone calls I'm gonna get, anyways, about that? So I may have a national emergency of all the phone calls. So get ready.
Sorry to hijack that, man. I just my empathy for Miami is just, it's poured out and runneth over.
All right, let's go to Yankees games below. Falcons at Panthers, 1:00. Jake, go.
Falcons at Panthers. So I'll go Falcons. It's not like they looked amazing on Sunday night. Just Minnesota looked that bad. Also go -3.5 Falcons.
I'll take Falcons 4 on the road.
Give me Falcons by 3. Carolina fought versus Arizona, by the way, which was surprising, by the way. So Atlanta 3.5 on the dot. Look at you, Jake. Go. How about that, anyways? All right, 2 for 2. He's about to go a hattie right there. About to do a hat trick. All right, Packers Browns 1:00 in Cleveland, Ohio. By the way.
Oof. Well, the Packers have won the Super Bowl, so let's continue to crown them because they looked really good for 2 straight weeks. But no, I'll say 8.5.
Packers 6.5.
Can I say Packers by 10? I'm gonna say that because let's look. 9.5, by the way.
Ouch.
I was close. Good job by me. I was like, let me just say, let's shoot a dart over here. Let's say 10. All right, Colts Titans. By the way, they're still in these games below. I just need to see more. But I really do enjoy the new ownership of the Colts daughters taking over, especially the one on the sidelines taking notes I really do enjoy that, by the way.
Yeah, I'm sure that's fun for the coaching staff. Have been
I love that.
trained professionals for years and years in this industry, and now they got the owner's daughter looking over their shoulder. But I say that out of respect. Jim Irsay, may he rest in peace, of course. I'll say this new Colts led by Indiana Jones. How about that?
Yeah.
Let's go -7. Nah, they wouldn't be that big. I'll go -5.5.
Give me the Colts as favorites at their home, right? Three
Yeah,
home?
this is
no,
in Tennessee. The Titans.
All right, so we got it. Where's the fields? Give me the Colts by 2.5 on the road.
Give me Colts by 3. Do you guys remember Randall from Recess back in the day? He was always right for Miss Finster. Always had the notebook and stuff. That's what it looked like to me. If you looked like a real life, that thing.
Nice.
God, I can't talk today. Colts are a 3-point favorite, by the way.
Woohoo! Go Colts.
That's what I was saying. Texans Jaguars in the bathing of Sunday of the fall heat in Jacksonville. Jacksonville lost. Texans, we have to be determined right now. They played Monday Night Football. Give me Texans by 5. Jake, go.
Yeah, a lot will obviously depend on what happens tonight, but I think the Texans are eyeing a big bounce back after a disappointing loss to the Rams in week 1. CJ Stroud and that offense will get it going. Missing, what's his name, the running back, Joe Mixon, but you got Nick Chubb, get him acclimated, that sort of thing. So I'll say Texans -2.5.
Yeah, this is going off of what's probably going to happen tonight. I'm going to say that probably Tampa Bay is going to win tonight. It's going to be like a must win for the Texans to kind of right and steer the ship. They're going to be favored not by a lot. I'll say 3.
Texans are a 1.5-point dog to Jacksonville right away.
Ooh, let's go.
We'll pick 'em action.
That'll change after the game.
That will change momentarily after this game.
Yeah.
So get it now if you want to. Anyways, get a good deal.
Take
All right,
Jags.
Saints Seahawks in the bridge window, 4:05 p.m. in Seattle. Give me Seattle by a touchdown.
I was thinking the same thing, but I'll go Seattle -5.5.
Yeah, I'll take Seattle 6.5 at home.
Seattle is 7.5-point favorite, by the way.
Oh,
There you go.
Look at
Nice.
me. All I needed was the extra point. All right, more games. Jets Buccaneers. Jets got blown out by the Buffalo Bills, and the Bucs are playing Monday Night Football tonight. Give me the Bucs by a full touchdown in the full summer heat in Central Florida as the Jets are going to roast in the sun. Give me the Jets by 7. Buccaneers by 7, please. Jake.
yeah. Aaron Glenn still looking for that first victory as head coach. I don't think it's going to happen in week number 3, but I do think it'll be close, and I think the books feel the same way. I'll go Bucs -3.5.
Yeah, I think the Bucks at home. Go ahead and give them 2.5. I think it's going to be a close game, and it's probably going to be one of those like 35-31 game, 35-32 games.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Jets are 7-point underdog, by the way.
Damn, man, that's big. That's big.
That's a huge one.
Really?
Yeah.
That's big.
44 and a half.
They can score points. I mean, they can score points.
They can score points, but Justin Fields is in concussion protocol, by the way.
That is true.
So we don't know. I don't know who's the backup quarterback for the Jets. So check your local listings, by the way. All right, Raiders Redskins, 1:00 games.
Whoa! The R words, the W.
W word Redskins
Yeah,
is
W
part of our
word
take.
Redskins.
Commanders.
That's why I go by that joke now. This is a classic Super Bowl matchup in the 80s, anyway. So give me Washington by 4.
Washington at home. Maybe by field goal at home.
I think it's a big bounce back week for Washington on a longer week with that additional rest after the Thursday night game and kind of lick their wounds, refresh a little bit after getting smacked by the Packers. So give me Washington -6.5.
Ooh.
Washington by 3 points, by the way. It's the current line. 44.5 is the over under right now. Oh my. All right.
Oh my.
Let's go to a classic rivalry in the 2000s, which we had to watch Ben Roethlisberger versus Tom Brady, but we are not getting that. It is Drake May versus Aaron Rodgers. Steelers Patriots in New England and Foxborough, a rare 1 o'clock game between these two. Give me the Patriots by 2. I'm going to say 2 points, by the way. Jake?
I'll say the Steelers are road favorites, but only by 1.5 points.
I'll take the Steelers on the road by a full field goal.
Steelers Patriots survey says 1.5.
Wait, Steelers -1.5 or Patriots -1.5?
Steelers 1.5.
Good. All right, back to getting it right. There we go.
There we go. All right, Sunday Ticket watchable. I was really concerned about this because I didn't move this game yet because of Joe Burrow's if he was going to play or not. Bengals Vikings and also the stinker by JJ McCarthy. I put this as Sunday Ticket watchable because I feel like those two were going to throw it left and right, and I was really excited for that. And I'm not going to get that. Do you want me to keep it in a Sunday Ticket watchable, or do you want me to move it?
I just saw on the old X Twitter machine that Kevin O'Connell said ankle sprain for JJ McCarthy, status up in the air for next week already. So
let me move that into mug games. Continue, by the way. Bengals Vikings, by the way. Is Dante Culpepper and Carson Palmer available for these two teams right now?
Oh, that would make it can't miss. I think the Vikings bounce back. They're too good of a team. I'll go Vikings -4.5.
Man, wow. I am trying not to relish and revel in the fact that Cincinnati doesn't have the QB going forward, and Minnesota's looking like they're coming back down to earth because of JJ. I'll take, I guess, just because of continuity at home. You still have Jefferson. In fact, I don't know. I think it's going to be close. Give me the Vikings at home as a favorite by like 1.5.
Give me Vikings by 3. I just feel weird. Just do the obvious 3-point game.
Mm-hmm.
Vikings are a 3-point favorite. Over under 41.5. Thank you for that breaking news, by the way, Jake.
Primary backup Carson Wentz for the Vikings, just so you guys
are
aware.
Oh,
Carson pulls a Nick Foles. He comes in and he takes the Vikings. Don't even say it, Dunkin.
That'll be something at least. God. All right, Sunday Ticket watchable. Let's go to Rams Eagles. I think that's the best early game of the week before we go to the doubleheader. Am I agree? Anyone a disagreement at all? I was trying to figure out where the Lions game was, but you guys are Monday Night Football, so you guys get
Lions Ravens going to be can't miss cinema.
Exactly. So Rams Eagles. I'm gonna take the Rams as a 3-point favorite here on the road. I just have that. Hey, I'm trying to be partial over here. I'm not trying to be a homer, anyways. Jake, what you got?
I think the Eagles will be favorites, 2.5.
Yeah, I'll take the Eagles at home by the field goal. Give me Jake Elliott all day, baby.
If I could find it on here, by the way. Jesus. 3.5, by the way.
Let's go.
Eagles. All right. Bridge window again. I like this classic AFC West rivalry. Broncos Chargers. This is a classic Jim Nantz and Phil Simms game if they didn't want to do any of the early games. 4:05 Broncos Chargers. Broncos did lose to the Colts on a field goal. Chargers to be determined as they play in Vegas on Monday Night Football. Give me the Chargers by 1. How about that?
Yeah, this feels very much like a pick'em game early in the season, still figuring out who these teams are. Broncos, I think, will bounce back, but I think it's a coin flip game, so I'll say Chargers by 0.5 point. Pick them.
Yeah, I'll take the Chargers by a hair at home. Give me 2.
2.5 is the Chargers are favorites, by the way.
Yeah,
over under 45.5, by the way.
Whoa.
So would I be surprised to take the over on here? I think that's a good play. Am I right for Jake's Casino Corner, right?
Yeah, you got to go with that.
Yes,
Life's too short to bet the under.
Exactly. All right, Fox doubleheader. We'll do the secondary game. Cardinals 49ers in Santa Clara.
Santa Clara.
Mac Jones versus Kyler Murray. Am I crazy to take Kyler Murray and 3 points here in San Francisco?
No, I don't
Jake?
think you're crazy.
What do you
No,
think?
I don't think you're crazy. It's uncertain, the Niners with all the injuries and everything, but I still think they'll be a 1.5 favorite at home.
Jake?
Yeah, I think both 2-0 coming into the matchup, right? Who knew?
Yeah.
I think the Niners at home, they've got to be like a 2.5, 3-point favorite at home.
They are a 1.5 point favorite. 43.5, by the way, is your over under.
Too bad they both can't lose.
I know it's a can't lose situation, but we do like points so much. I may have to take the points in this game for the over under. I'll say 43.5. Are you cool with that?
I'm taking the under.
Okay. Well, life's too short to bet the under, anyways. Kyler Murray can do anything.
I'm taking
All right, Cowboys, Bears. Jake, this is the main game. This is America's game of the week. Do we have to watch Caleb Williams play?
Yeah, I mean, I feel, although with how bad the Cowboys' pass defense was, I mean, Russell Wilson threw for 450 yards and 3 touchdowns. Now, we were getting into this in the fan this morning, and I was arguing that some of those throws, Russ looked like the old Danger Russ.
Yes.
Mr. Unlimited,
Mhm.
where he was dropping deep balls in the bucket. But Cowboys are banged up in the secondary, and in addition to that, they're just not very good. Still learning under first-year coordinator Matt Eberflus, who will be wanting to get back as his old team. I just saw that Jordan Schultz tweeted Bears All-Pro cornerback Jalen Johnson likely to miss the rest of the regular season with that groin injury he suffered on Sunday. So bad news for the Bears. The Bears are in a world of hurt at 0-2, so they're going to have to bring everything. But like Cowboys people seem to think Caleb Williams and that offense will bounce back. So I'll take the Cowboys at home, getting 2.5.
Thank you for that breaking news, by the way.
Nice
We
breaking
appreciate
news.
that.
Oh my, yes. This is, I don't know, I wasn't sold on the Bears to start this year like everybody and their brother was, anointing them as, part of the class of the NFC.
They win the offseason every year. It's ridiculous.
It's
Every
New
year.
Washington. It's New Washington.
Yeah.
Someone has to win the offseason.
Someone else in the offseason, right? Yeah, he'll bounce back. The Cowboys secondary looked really bad versus Danger Russ. It wasn't Doug Baldwin. It wasn't Tyler Lockett. It was Malik Neighbors. That's a huge difference. Kudos to the Bears having a doozy or whatever, but I don't see him doing the same thing to Dallas. I don't know. The Bears, it's at home. It's late. Is this one of those sneaky, Bears by 1 at home kind of games?
My guess is I'm taking the Cowboys, whatever their fucking spread is. Give me the Cowboys by 3 anyways. I can't buy myself into buying a Chicagoland quarterback not named Jay Cutler. And lo and behold, Dunkin, Dad, you are right. It's 1.5 point favorite for the Chicagoland Bears.
Yeah, that's. Listen, keep drinking the Kool-Aid, everybody. Keep drinking it.
I'm not going to be drinking no Kool-Aid like the Bears do. But I know one thing. The only thing that's reasonable in Chicago is the baseball team called the Chicago Cubs. The Bears still suck anyways. So.
All right.
Sunday Night Football. We have another albatross, by the way. I will say this. If you have your girlfriend in town, take her out to dinner or go watch a movie. I really don't want to watch Chiefs Giants, and you shouldn't want to either. Chiefs are desperate for a win. It's the Giants home opener. Give me the Chiefs at least by 5 points. Jake, go.
Yeah, I got Chiefs. I mean, they are on the road, but 6.5. Although if it's the Chiefs from last year, I know they went to the Super Bowl, but they always played with their food. They would never just put teams away, and games were always close. But I'll still say Chiefs 5.5.
Yeah.
Duncan, you better have better plans than watching the Sunday Night Football game.
Yeah, I do. Kids will be visiting. We'll be hanging out, probably, watching a movie or tidying up some homework before we get ready for school the next morning. Yeah, Chiefs, Giants. The Chiefs, like Jake said, man, they need to win. Like I need, more snacks, crumbs and stuff on the floor. The Giants, just such a horrible way to lose. You're just throwing it around, and you get walked off on a field goal after Buddy drops a 64-yard bomb. The Chiefs, they got to be favored by at least 5.5 on the road. right?
You're right, by the way, Duncan. 5.5 on the road,
Yeah.
44.5 is your over/under total, by the way.
I hope the Chiefs just get out to a lead and then just can pull some of their starters and just put us all out of the misery. You know?
Jake, you're from the Midwest, and I really do appreciate your opinion. How much do you hate it when all the New York teams are always on Sunday Night Football or Sunday Night Baseball? Do you hate it honestly? Because I personally can't stand the Giants on Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, it's one of those things you can't change, and it happens so regularly. You just learn to accept it.
Mm-hmm.
And as a lot of the Detroit fans will say Detroit versus everybody type of thing. I'm not quite there. I don't have that burning desire in me. Maybe it's because I've been in Dallas for 2 years and I've lost it. But I do get a little bit. It's not even annoyed. It's just predictable. So
I hear you. Let's go to the real game that should have been Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football. Lions Ravens. I cannot wait for this game. I'm probably have to work Westwood 1, which I don't mind anyways. I'll be cutting up clips for the show anyways for next week.
Tommy Todd.
Shout out to Tommy Todd.
Shout out to Tommy Todd.
Lions Ravens.
Trevor, you're doing a great job.
Fun fact, I did work with the Miami Heat broadcast. A little side note. Lions Ravens. I'm going to say Lions are a 6-point. You know what? Give me Lions by 3. I think this will be a close game. Jake, go.
Well, if you're asking like what I think will happen versus what the books have, I think the books will have the Ravens as a home favorite. And the Lions defense hasn't shown enough. They forced some turnovers against the Bears, but the Bears had a couple of drives, which is obvious by the, the 3 touchdowns that they scored. 52-21 was the final in that one. But the Lions notoriously struggle with mobile quarterbacks. It doesn't get much more mobile than Lamar Jackson. I think the books will recognize that. I got the Ravens as a 2.5-point favorite.
Yeah, give me the Ravens 3.5 at home. This could go one of two ways, right? Just like Jake said, this could turn into one of those like shootout kind of games. We're just going up and down the field, like they seem to turn into when Lions and Ravens get together. But Ravens at home, they're a favorite.
Lions are a 6-point underdog in the city of Baltimore, by the way. Over under 51. 6 points, right?
Huge number. 6 points?
Why lie? I'm going to show you the screen.
Hello, DraftKings.
Might have to be a lock of the week for just a simple cover.
I may have. Exactly. I was looking at it, I was like 3 points anyway. So Lions are a 6-point underdog. That is just the Lions. Jake, what is going on with Locked On Sports Detroit? Post game, I enjoyed you guys talking on the Lions post game show as I was driving home from Dolphins.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, we got the post game show. Our live shows on Thursdays with the Locked On Lions squad. We're gonna try and get Jeff Rieger on a show with them. He's the guy followed up with the Ben Johnson. How demoralizing is a loss here. Got my college football show on Saturdays on 105.3 The Fan here in Dallas. That's always fun. It's SMU TCU this weekend, which is called the Battle for the Iron Skillet. So a little Dallas versus Fort Worth rivalry there on the college football gridiron. Arch Manning is actually terrible. I know we're not talking college football on today's program, but my goodness, that's the talk of the town throughout the great state of Texas, that Arch might actually be terrible. And then we still got baseball season. The Tigers are a dying team, but they lost 2 out of 3 to the Marlins over the weekend, as I'm sure you know. But at least the Central is so bad that they should still hold on to that big lead over the Guardians and Royals. So
I was going to go to that game Friday night. Then I realized what my call time was on Saturday for that Miami Hurricanes game was at 11. I was like, not going to go, unfortunately.
You made the right decision because Tarek Skubal was the only reason to go, and he left his start early with side tightness. Now, fortunately, x-rays were negative. That's the Tigers' only hope to win a World Series, is if just Skubal pitches, 3 straight rain delays, Skubal pitches again, 3 straight rain delays, Skubal pitches again.
There we go. Right. Dunkin, what's going on with the Coastal Sports Network? I got to ask.
Not too much, man. Doing well. Picking up the slack. All the shows popping off. Please come on. Jump over. Follow us on X. Follow us on Threads. Follow us on Instagram. And look forward to the remainder of the week. Eagles staying healthy. Fingers crossed.
All right, Dunkin' Dad, Jake. It was always good talking to you guys on this Monday afternoon.
Thank you.
As we have a doubleheader from Monday Night Football. Take care, Blue Valley.